Have you ever thought about just how much League of Legends is a game of swing? So yesterday I released the first episode of Road to Diamond Season 2, where during a brief moment early on in the video I highlighted a mini montage showing the grind to reach a promo series. During that montage I have a clip where I'm playing against a Tryndamere who, unfortunately it seems, had a stroke and thought it was a good idea to tower dive me at level 1 with Flash and Ignite. He ends up giving me first blood where I barely live with a sliver of health and ended up recalling to safety. This game ended up being a game where I went 25, 6, and 9, which is close to the most kills I've ever gotten on Aurelia in a ranked game before, and it was all because of this close call. I never really noticed just how often situations like this arise until I was grinding for yesterday's video. It had been a while since I had a period where I just played a million games over and over trying to win. I try and stream plenty of League every day, of course, but generally speaking, when I'm playing on stream, I'm more focused on talking to you guys in chat rather than grinding in a super serious way. It felt like ages since I had played just for the sake of playing to win, and I didn't realize how snowbally and swing-oriented League of Legends, and the top lane especially, have become. And it's all because of something I talked about in one of my first YouTube videos ever, dying in League of Legends. Take a second to think about a shooter, a team deathmatch style game, Halo 3 multiplayer for instance. If you get killed in game, your death contributes to the enemy's score going up, and you will be partially responsible for the loss because of it if the enemy team wins. That sucks, but it doesn't suck nearly as much as it could, since that's all you're doing when you die. You're giving 1/25th or 1/50th of your opponent's victory that you can go and try and make up for when you respawn. Death is relatively quick, it gives no powerful advantage to other players who rack up a ton of kills. All they do is contribute to the score, and maybe there's some scenarios where your death means that you lose control of part of the map where you die at. Other than that, dying is pretty forgiving and something that everyone, casual and pro players alike, just expect to happen. It's a natural part of the game. MOBAs in League of Legends don't work like that. When you die in League, your opponents gain a massive advantage that compounds with each and every death you give. It starts with gold, 400 gold if it's first blood, somewhere around 300 gold after that. Depending on if you're on a killing or dying spree, it might be a little more or less, but somewhere in the ballpark there. Everyone knows about that exchange when they first pick up the game, and they get used to it pretty quickly. You just know 300 gold goes to the enemy team if you die. But what players don't often think about are the other bonuses an enemy laner gets when they kill you. When you die, you actually end up effectively giving your opponents more than 300 gold for the kill, because you're giving them free farm to last hit as they please in laning phase while you're dead. They could just last hit as many minions as they want with little to no consequences, which can end up racking a few hundred extra gold before they recall or before you get back to lane to stop them, only having to worry about maybe the jungle coming top lane and needing to duel with another 1v1. Not only that, but when you die, you're losing potential CS that you could have gotten while you're spending time dead, so the gold differential you see grows quite a bit, and seeing as 300 gold is already enough to buy some cheap items in the game, you can see how things can snowball out of control really quickly. This isn't even the biggest factor though. When you end up dying, you also lose out on another super important resource every time you die: experience. When you're dead, you see an experience lead go to your opponent. Even if your opponent sucks at last hitting, they're going to be near minions that are slain while you won't. They can gain levels and hit super important milestones while you just sit back and watch. Experience is an important as hell thing too. I mean, hitting level 6 first can guarantee you a kill in some lanes if an opponent doesn't realize it's happening. Not to mention the obvious fact that beyond the extra more powerful abilities you get when you level up, you also get better base stats that highly out-leveled players can use to bully others pretty easily. Getting a kill in laning phase in League of Legends is actually a lot like austerity measures for Greece. When Greece had austerity first put into place to force itself to pay back the massive amount of debt it owed, it wasn't all that effective according to many economists, considering when you slash government spending with harsh restrictions, the economy shrinks at least as quickly as they can pay back their debt. That's what dying a few times in laning phase for League of Legends is like. When you get killed in laning phase, you set yourself behind, so you have this deficit or debt that you want to make up, so you get back to lane and you try and CS and gain experience so you can make up the difference. But your opponent already has a big advantage with items and stats and abilities, so you can't can't walk up to CS or you're just going to get killed again. But the only other option you have in that scenario is to sit back and soak up experience while you let your opponent do whatever they want and free farm as much as they want. And if you're letting your opponent free farm while you're just sitting there, they're still growing a huge gold differential, maybe even growing it as quickly as you would if you gave them another kill. I mean, they're getting all this free farm. It's got to make up 300 gold, right? It's such a huge lead, and you're stuck in this lose-lose scenario that makes you feel like there's no way out. The only way you can save yourself from this personal hell is begging your savior jungler to please come gank your lane, and we all know your team's jungler sure as hell isn't going to pay attention to a feeder like you. As bleak as I've made this scenario out to be, this is actually one of the things I like most about League of Legends and why I think it's such a fun and exciting game in laning phase when we aren't in a tank meta or a meta where people just sit back and farm to late game. If you're playing two champions up against each other who are both squishy and have kill potential, everyone is going to be on edge trying to get the advantage and make this snowball happen, while whoever gets set behind is going to try and turn it around before things get out of control. It's a really exciting and thrilling way to play the game. So many things are running through your head before an engage in these scenarios where everyone's looking for kills. What level is my opponent? How much experience do they have? Are they going to get some sick ability off of minions that level them up right as I engage? What items do they have? Do I beat them in a 1v1 at the moment? Where's their jungler? Are they some super awesome YouTuber that everyone should subscribe to on YouTube? Well, I'm a pleb that's trying to play Tryndamere in 2016 and will inevitably die because of it. One mistake after that and it can spell disaster for your lane and potentially the game, since playing from behind is incredibly tough, which of course makes comebacks all the more exciting and impressive. But anyway, the reason I bring this up today is because this game, this crowning achievement of going ham on Aurelia, getting 25 kills and setting a little personal best for myself for the upcoming season, they'll probably stand for a while, I suspect. All of this came off of one bad play, one overextension and stupid tower dive. I don't think that this Tryndamere was actually that bad of a player if we exclude the little stroke he had. If he was an actual person, I might have lost this lane or at least had it gone even. If that happened, I might have lost the game or at least not been able to carry it myself. Hell, I might have not made it to my promos and gotten the video out yesterday that I did. All of this was because of a split-second close call that could have very easily gone the other way if I was late on my potion or I took a little more minion damage, and that's what I mean when I say League of Legends is a game of swing. You can have two players who are at the same rating beating each other in brutal fashion one game after the next. Each time they do so, everyone else in the game is going to think whoever is winning is God and the loser is garbage, but the roles can swap so quickly when it's only a 1v1 and you don't have much jungle interference. League of Legends is a game of inches like that. Lesson of the story here, this shit's hard. If you have someone on your team who's like a Yasuo player who's complaining that he should have won his lane if the enemy didn't just get lucky at level 2, as much as we'd like to brush that off and make fun of him, he might be right. This is something that happens quite a bit in League of Legends, and understanding how it happens is imperative if you're going to have a pleasant experience playing the game, and if you're going to try and win some of these games where a teammate gets unlucky on the unlucky side of one of these trades. So the next time you see some guy complaining about a close call causing his 0-8 score, give him the benefit of the doubt. In other words, please don't flame me next time I'm on your team. Hey, I hope you guys all enjoyed watching today's video. I'm excited and happy to be back with what I hope will be daily videos and also daily streams for a little while now. If you want to come over and talk to me a bit on stream, I'll be streaming for a few hours after this video goes live. Link is in the description as always. If you're busy though, that's perfectly fine. I'll see you all tomorrow, but until then, thank you very much for watching. Good luck in solo queue and have a wonderful day.